That'd be
I've
tough.
tossed around Smart for Collins too. I mean, I think Smart's a guy you have to consider right now because of the contract.
You know what I would
Especially,
fear though, if I'm the Celtics?
Not for Collins.
My fear in moving Marcus was that he would be Tony Allen 2.0. Remember how Tony went to Memphis and all of a sudden they became a completely he literally changed everything about that organization. They were not grind. They were just god awful bad before he got there. And all of a sudden they've got this new identity. Marcus could do that with New Orleans. And you're pairing him with Brandon and Zion. Oh my. LeBron is thinking like Boston don't do that. Boston don't do that. I will give back some of my Boston Red Sox ownership if you don't do that deal. Don't let Marcus Smart go to New Orleans because then they become a problem. Yeah. They become a big problem. And if you're the Celtics, guess what? Lonzo helps you become a problem out east.
This is a potentially mutually beneficial sort of situation. But again, you got to start.
It hurts me.
Every time you talk about a trade, what Celtics fans and we have too often done in this room is it has to hurt a little, you know. So
this hurts.
It has to hurt a little. Every trade's got to hurt a little. So if you're really starting to love Rob like I do, watching him go is going to hurt a little bit. And it's the same thing for Marcus Smart.
And if you love Marcus as long as I have and still do, I'm feeling a
or the Jaylen Brown people. If Jaylen Brown,
you putting Rob in this, you putting Rob in this deal too, in this proposed deal, John. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm saying any deal. Look, I'm saying any deal has to hurt a little, which means it's got to be Rob or it's got to be Smart, and or I don't know who else. Because honestly, there's no other player on this team that reach down and say,
"Get Smart away." Don't take my Smart away.
We have to keep reminding Celtics fans of that constantly, right? Every single night, every time we do this show, we have to remind them that every team in the NBA isn't trying to make the Celtics better, right?
Yes,
they want to make themselves better. Okay, that's the point. That's the whole point.
Just wait. Also, they've all got DVRs and scouting departments, and every single one of them watched all 13 of Aaron Nesmith's minutes tonight and said, "No effing way," you know? Okay. They all watched him.
But yeah, Celtics fans will be like, well, why don't they trade him already? Why doesn't anyone want him? I don't get it.
Good. Just give him Nesmith. Nobody wants
Nesmith and 3 first. Get it done.
Teams loving those first, though. You keep seeing those ask for it.
It's a lottery ticket. Get one. Just hit one of them's got to hit, right?
The Smart Ball one's tricky.
How many 14 picks in a row could you blow? You think if they had the 14 pick the next 2 years, they'd be as bad as these guys?
Hey, you want to find out, it seems like.
Averages. One of them's got to be Halliburton, right?
Oh, man, that one hurt on Friday.
You know, everyone, all the Giannis people come out real quick. Don't say the 13th pick. Oh,
Halliburton has 2 finishes over the weekend where I was just jaw dropped. That guy is special. But the Smart Ball one's tough for me. I think that is such a significant drop-off right now. In terms of what the Celtics need,
the best thing about that trade is you don't use the TPE and you can still use it again. So, like, anytime you can make a trade to get a piece for the future and still possibly swing the TPE into something is interesting, okay? So
would you rather trade Rob or Smart?
It depends for whom.
Smart.
Yeah. It always for me, it depends on whom I'm getting back in return.
In this,
it has to be Smart.
I guess in this situation, it's Rob for Collins and Smart for Ball.
Probably Rob, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure I do because I don't know if I like Collins enough.
I think I'd rather keep Smart.
Yeah, I think I'd rather keep. If I've got Collins, Rob on one end, and I've got Smart, Lonzo on the other, I think I want to keep Marcus and bring John in.
I mean, this is the thing about Rob, John. I know you love his potential, and everybody in the Celtics world does. Reliability, consistency, stability with injuries. All that stuff I look at with Rob. Even today, bad game fouling. Defensively, he wasn't always there. He had a few flashy plays, but do we know he's going to come together as the fully formed, actualized player? We're still a long way from that, I think. And with big men, it can take a while. And guess what? This offseason, they have to decide, are you going to extend Robert Williams? And I still think you're in a spot with him where you say, do I? Don't I? Let's let another team decide. No, you do if you're keeping him.
Yeah, if you're keeping him, you absolutely do that. And I'm pretty you're gonna try to make that happen. You are going to try to make that happen. But, man, I don't want to lose Smart. I mean, I really don't want to lose
a lot. It would.
Just for obvious reasons with his defense, but to me, I mean, he brings it. He brings it. every night. And even when he plays like crap, you don't feel as though he's dogging it. You don't feel like he's giving you less than his best. And I can't say that about a lot of these guys because Tatum can get you 25 points like that. And you are pretty damn sure he wasn't his best version, as John would like to say, the best version of himself in that game. I don't feel that about Marcus. Marcus can go 3 for 19 and have the best game of his life because he'll make a diving save, he'll force a turnover, he'll contest the shot that the other team needed to make, and they won't because he contested it. He does all those intangible things that I love.
Think of what he's done in the playoffs too.
But what, Sherrod? But what?
But a chance to get Lonzo.
You really love Lonzo that much, huh?
I love Lonzo for what he is now and what he can become.
Yeah.
And that's why, and I'm trying to think the way Danny would think about it. Because if it's just me personally, I'm not moving Marcus Smart because I love Marcus Smart to death. But if I'm trying to think the way Danny thinks, Danny's always looking at that short-term, long-term benefits and guys that can help him at both ends of that spectrum. And Lonzo is that kind of player.
And again, it's tough. And
Smart hurt.
You're right. Smart, one of two things will happen. Smart will go somewhere else, and it'll be like instantly you'll realize, like, oh God, we just
Tony Allen all over again.
Ripped the heart out of our chest, and like, oh my God.
Especially with the Pelicans. That's someone trying to build something.
Or, and nobody wants to hear this, he goes somewhere else and be like, wow, we might have vastly overrated his impact. You know, it's like, I don't know which one it's going to be because Smart, like I said, Smart's that guy.
Evan Turner. What happened, Evan?
No, the true value of the player is in all the intangible stuff that you like that we all think exists because we've watched enough of this team over the years to know, and they all say it too. The players say it. He's our heart and soul. But it's always is it something that we've created and fabricated in Celtics Nation to be a bigger, more significant thing than it actually is?
I don't think it is.
Or we've underrated it, and it's the most important thing, and trading him would be an absolute disaster. It's a real dice roll because I don't know.
That first question you asked is about what he's done, and there is no doubt about he's been the heart and soul of the team, and he's done substantial things for this team year in and year out. The question you have to ask
and underrated. It's a real. Obviously, he's such a polarizing player.
I think his track record to this point has proven what he is, which is all defense, great passer, clutch shooter, all that stuff. The question you're asking if you're going to move him is what's it going to be in 3 to 4 years? And he's piled up injuries over the years. He's gotten up there minutes-wise, all that kind of stuff. And he's the kind of player you ask, are you going to invest $20 million plus? Because they got him on a cheaper deal than
he's not getting $20 million, by the way.
That's what he's going to be looking for after that cheaper first deal.
Right. I'm looking for $20 million also.
So it sounds like John's shipping him out.
No, I'm saying I think a lot of people in the comments have said Smart's going to be looking for 20 on that next deal. I don't think Smart gets 20 on the next deal. At the end of the day, everyone else outside of Boston sees a player who scores about 10, 11 points a game, shoots sub 40%, plays pretty good defense, but is not a terrific on-ball defender, and you're paying for intangibles. Teams do not give $20 million for intangibles. They don't do it.
Especially
you
shooting.
Don't do it. Shooting in a league where you need shooters. Yeah. Right. You do not pay $20-something million for intangibles. You don't do it. So I don't believe Smart.
JJ Redick got almost 20 not too long ago because he could shoot. That's why. Yeah.
Smart will never get that on the open market. Never. I feel strongly about that because he is a guy that you absolutely want to have and makes you better, but he's a bit of a luxury item when you're talking about where am I going to put my chips? Where am I going to place my money? You have limited amount of money to spend. I do not believe a team goes out and throws $20-something million at Marcus Smart.